Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition and another season of the Coach's Corner. My name is Kevin Papa, and joining me this year for the very first time, and hopefully for a long time, is the Coach Todd Kiley. Coach, welcome.
Appreciate it.
It's good to have you here in Franklin.
It's great to be here.
Let's catch everybody up to speed a little bit on how you got here, how your transition's going. I'm sort of interested in the decision to apply for the job. You're very comfortable at the position you're in. You've won a couple Super Bowls, years of experience there. The job comes open. How hard of a decision is that to apply for?
It's extremely difficult. Obviously I've made it very clear that I was happy in Holliston.
Mm-hmm.
Won a few state titles there, and kids have done a lot of great things in the 21 years we were there. But it was more of a, kind of a now or never type of situation. And Franklin's always been a town that's, I call it the Holliston times two. It's the same type of kids, same type of families. They're just twice as big.
Sure.
So an opportunity to jump up a few divisions and go against some of the big guns that were dodging us at Holliston because we were lower division. Nobody, when you play a lower division like that, it's a lose-lose.
Right.
So now they have to play you, and but it's just it's a case of it was the right time, I think, for me and my family. It was a family decision. We talked about it as a family before I even went ahead and applied for it. Told them this is what I was thinking about doing. Would they be okay with it? You had two sons that have grown up in Holliston.
Sure.
A wife that was very involved with the football program, and so it was, again, they were 100% on board, and they said, if this is what you want to do, you should go for it. So
when you apply, you're already saying to yourself, if they offer me it, I'm taking it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I think initially going through the process, I think there was still some question marks,
Mm-hmm.
some things that needed to be answered for
Sure.
me in order for me to take it. Because you don't leave a job that you've poured your heart and soul
Sure.
into for 21 years. Not just you, but your family, the staff that you've worked with. A lot of those guys were with me since almost day one.
Mm-hmm.
So it had to be a really, really good situation, and wanted to do my homework. And Coach Bain and I are good friends, and in talking with him about it, it just seemed like, as far as the coaching aspect of it, seemed like the right fit, and to potentially make the move. It's just hard when you leave a group
Absolutely.
of kids that you're looking. I was looking forward to coaching that group. Over
there
in Holliston
sure.
this
I'm
year.
Sure
You see them.
disappointed kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You see
Yeah.
them. You see them grow up. From you get them as young boys, as freshmen, and you want to see them. You want to be able to hand them off back to their parents as young men. So missed out on. I guess the one miss is not one, but the biggest miss was that just leaving the kids.
Sure.
Just because you develop relations, they're your kids, So, but it's it was the right thing for me to do at the time, and we made the decision. Now we're all in.
So you take the job. It's not your normal off season. The off season is pretty much over by now.
Yeah.
So you're coming in on a whirlwind. Was it hard to catch up, get to know the kids? I know you brought a couple coaches with you, Coach Athy and Coach Perry. How long have they been with you?
So Coach Perry since year 2, so he was with me 20 years in Holliston. And Coach Athy, pretty much, he was with the youth level when I first started, but we had a great relationship, and he was sort of my liaison, would go through a lot of things. And he was my booth guy for a while. I think officially in 2008.
Okay.
He joined the high school staff, but again, we had a very close relationship with the Pop Warner
Mm-hmm.
youth program. They made the switch halfway. It was Pop Warner, then
Yeah, then
switched to
AYF.
youth. Yeah. which is a good thing. I like the AYF.
I think Pop Warner's now all age-based now. It's no longer
Oh, it is good.
weight-based,
All right.
so.
That's
Yeah.
important, right? The big,
Yeah,
I mean, football's a big
you
man's.
lose so many kids at an early age, but
Yeah.
let's not get off the.
No,
no. You come here, you have Coach Collins and Coach Ryan, who know the kids pretty much, and then you get a jackrabbit of a coach in Jack Nally,
Yeah.
who's a huge addition, I would guess.
Yeah.
So was it tough for the kids to get used to you guys? I mean, this is just a complete change in culture
Yeah.
from Coach Baines to this.
Yeah, it's just a different. You know, there's so many different ways to skin a cat. Coach Bain did a great job. There was, he had it rolling here. The culture was great. I remember the first day I showed up to meet the kids in the weight room, and they were all doing exactly what they should be doing, and you could just tell there was a well-oiled machine as far as that went. I knew there was a lot of inexperience. We didn't have too many guys returning, but just as far as that piece of it was in place, and Brian Kosicki and Coach Zwicker sort of held down the fort in the weight room while this team didn't have a coach.
And I don't want to forget about Coach Kosicki. But he's just been with the freshmen for so long. I just think he's
right.
A freshman
Well,
coach.
he's I call him my most valuable coach because he's with
like
the varsity.
A
he's
utility knife.
Yeah, he's with the freshmen.
Yep.
Which is huge. So yeah, I'd say adjustment wise, it's an adjustment for the kids. It's an adjustment for us as coaches.
Sure.
Because you're learning the Franklin way,
Absolutely.
just administratively. And as far as meeting the kid, you come in, I'm excited and
Yeah, you're
nervous
jacked
and
up, man.
yeah, but you got all those emotions,
Mhm.
and the kids have been great since day one.
That's awesome.
They bought in since day one, and the summer, being able to be with them 5 days a week, doing the strength and conditioning,
Yeah.
got to know all of them,
Yeah.
and really got to know them personally, and so I felt like I was stressed out a little bit out of the gate because of the late jump we were getting, but the way the kids responded, and we just sort of.
I would think the admin stuff would be the biggest hurdle to have
Exactly.
all the paperwork and the emails and everything.
Yep, and that was a big hurt. Once I just got to a point, I'm like, I can't wait to coach football. But we're through most of that, and now it's just the week to week administrative stuff. But
Sure.
it's mostly all football.
So we'll just briefly touch on the Central game. I thought the huge play in that game was the stop going into half. That keeps it at a 2-score game.
Oh, yeah.
What's your talk to the team at halftime at that point?
So that was momentum like at its best,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
To stop them, goal line stand, and they put it in their best kid's hand. They ran right at our best kid, our biggest best kid, Julian, and when you do that, you're not going to have a whole lot of
No,
success.
it's not
It
a lot of
wasn't
Julians
just
out there.
Julian. It was a host of defenders that rallied on that. So to make that huge stop, and then just talk to them about, listen, let's build off that.
Right.
We felt like we gave them a short field on 2 different occasions. So if we felt like if we stopped shooting ourselves in the foot, we were going to be in a game.
Yeah,
'Cause we
and-
knew we were as good as that team.
And if I had came to you and said, hey, first game Central at their field, opening day, you're going to have four shots to tie or win the game with 30 seconds to
Yeah.
go. I'm sure you'd buy in for that.
Yeah, you expect to win.
Yeah.
We expect. I expected to win that game regardless. But yeah, I mean, playing a quality program like that
Your first game too, and then all the jitters that go with the kids and everything like that.
Yep.
So I mean, that was awesome.
Yep, it was.
We were on to Wachusett the following week, last week. Is that a game where it seemed like everything just clicked in the right place, in that
Yeah.
the game plan was perfect and the kids executed?
Yep, I think playing a team like Central week 1, there's zero false sense of security there. So you know exactly where you stand.
Right.
So you work on the things you need to work on, and all those things reveal themselves because you're playing a quality opponent like that. So we worked at it, we worked on those things all week in practice, and the kids just came out ready to play. It was a phenomenal atmosphere there.
Yeah.
You know, their student section was all over us since even before play one. And
Yeah, I heard that.
It was huge. It must have been 4,000 fans there.
That's awesome.
It was we, I think we sort of we fed off that, you know, and it just sort of, the kids just went out there with confidence and did exactly what we did during the week.
Yeah.
You know, we talked to them about our hardest days are going to be Sunday through Thursday. Friday that's the easy
Yeah.
one. You go out and you just execute on what you did all week.
So the first series, Wachusett gets it across midfield for the only time, I should say. We come back, you hit Frollo on looks like a little wheel route out of the backfield. He goes for 50 yards. It looks like we're in business, but the drive stalls. We get the ball back on a punt, and then you came out pounding the ball the next series. Was that a designed, hey, the second series we're going to take, or is that something that you looked at and said, hey, I think we can pound the ball here? Because you ran it 4 or 5 times in a row.
Right.
Before Frollo breaks off a 20-yarder.
Right. Definitely part of our game plan. We had that set, the tank set that we call it. So we had that moving on since Sunday last week. So we were working that. So we were going to go to that set regardless. But we knew it was just we wanted to come out in our ace set, our spread set, and we're gonna do that every week. We're gonna see what the defense is giving us, and then just try and capitalize on it. But we really felt like we could move the ball both out of our spread and our tank stuff, which we were able to do.
Yeah.
Like once we got the game moving, we kind of toggled between the two, and we were able to do that. But when you have Julian and Webb
Leading the way, there's not a
and
lot
Jack
of people.
and Jack Fairweather, when you get those three leading the way, three outstanding players, but just physical kids and just workhorses that will.
And Jack had a couple
Refuse
big
to
catches
lose.
on the next series.
Yes.
So
Yep.
he catches a big catch on I think it was a 4th and 6. He gets a big pickup, and then Willie T hits him on a 4th and 3 jump ball, pretty much.
Yeah.
And when you got a guy that tall jumping, you're going to have success a lot more than not.
No doubt. No, that was a huge 4th down
Yeah.
throw and catch.
Yeah.
That he made. That's him in a nutshell though. He's just a worker. He's kind of doesn't care if he's blocking, doesn't care if he's running routes. He wants to win and compete, and he's exactly who you want in that spot. So to see him come up big in those 2 occasions, you're just happy for kids like that put the team
And then
first.
the next series, it's all Kyle. Kyle Walsh and him and Justin were just hooking up. It was like poetry. I mean, 3 catches, 70+ yards, and a touchdown, I believe.
Yep.
Sandwiched in there was a sack that might have given Wachusett a little life.
Yeah.
And then you hit him on a big touchdown after that.
Yeah, they gave us some man coverage there. So Justin went to what he felt was his best matchup, which I agree with him. That was probably the best matchup. We get 4, 5, 6 kids that can catch and run good routes, and but Kyle he's a great one. So we liked the matchup there and just kept going to it, and it worked out for us.
And then it's from when it rains it pours. They get you on a 3 and out, you punt, and it looks like the kid who's down there doesn't know if he should be going towards the ball, stops running. Should I set up the wall? And it hits him right in the back.
Hit
and
him in the back. Yeah, and that. Yep.
You feel terrible for the kid because you can see him on tape just holding his head. But that's why you always have to have your head on a swivel in special teams.
You do, and that's why we're screaming. If we're on that end of it, we're screaming poison to get the kids. And even when you do scream poison, which they're supposed to run immediately sideways to the sidelines. Even in those cases, sometimes it's just bad luck, and you catch a ball off the shoulder pad, the leg, or whatever, and it's just one of those things for that poor kid. But we capitalized on it. We jumped on it, and I forget who jumped on it.
I couldn't really tell.
I think it was Jack Fairweather.
Oh, he had a game and a half.
Yep, it was Jack Fairweather, and then we just capitalize. You know, we were able to convert on that, and that's what good teams have to do, right? You have to capitalize on those turnovers,
And
we
then,
did that.
and then right for first play, there goes that bad man again, Kyle Walsh, 30 yards for another touchdown.
Yep.
Justin finds him again. That's not something is that something called for Kyle, or is that something that, hey, it's just there?
Yeah, it's just that. I mean, he's got to go through his reads. That one, I believe I think they were in man on that. Again, so it was a matchup situation. Kyle ran a corner route, just a great route, great throw, and then a good run after the catch, and to reach for the pylon,
Yep.
which is, as long as they have that ball secured and it doesn't come out
Right.
and go through the end zone, we tell him, especially on first down,
Yep.
which it would have been. But no, he was fine with that. He had a great game. And it just seemed like every kid, you turn on the film, and obviously those are the kids that shine, the kids that are scoring, but it was a lot more than just that.
Yeah.
It was a great team win.
We cap off the scoring with a Frollo touchdown reception out of war from Willie T. And it's nice that both your quarterbacks had 2 throwing touchdowns.
Yeah.
You got on the board a lot, and you got a lot of kids in, maybe for the first time, in a varsity game.
Yeah, that's nice. It's always nice when you can get some of those kids that are fringe, right on
Sure.
the fringe of being able to, help
Yeah, a
those
little
teams out.
experience.
Yeah, and they're working hard in practice. A lot of those kids are scout kids, and quite frankly, you're not winning that game without great scout play all week. And we talk about it's got to be, we got to have the next best 11 on the other side of the ball.
Absolutely.
At all times, and I think that showed on Friday night too. That when those starters are seeing those plays, it's not for the first time.
No.
They're seeing those live bullets in practice.
Yeah.
With the kids getting after it.
So my game balls would go to Kyle Walsh, who had 6 catches for 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the defense as a whole, giving up 62 yards total, letting the other team across the 50 for one series, which I'm going to blame on Coach Collins.
I know the
seriously,
audacity, right?
seriously though, 9 yards passing.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a really good game.
Awesome. Defense was great, and those guys work hard too. Our defensive coaches. We got everybody going both sides of the ball, but Coach Collins, who leads the defense, Coach Athley leads it with him. Jack Nally does a great job with the DBs.
Sure.
He's just doing a great job on all sides of the ball. But it was just and Coach Perry doing the D line as addition,
Yep.
in addition to the O line. It's just everything seemed to be working together as a defense has
Which is
to.
great.
Yeah, that's what you need. So
Yeah.
between the coaches and the players, it was a beautiful thing to witness. You don't truly get to enjoy it until it's all done.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You're sitting back on the iPad and with the controls.
Watching the tape
and-
15 times.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, Brockton coming in tomorrow night. What kind of team are they?
They are a mix of a lot of different things. They have a lot of team speed. They get and they get into some different sets offensively, and they'll look to pound it. They pounded Barnstable at times. And then they spread them out as well. So I think they'll sort of the same philosophy as us. That they're going to take what they think we're giving them.
Right.
Their quarterback's a good quarterback. They got a quick tailback, number 21. He's the real deal. And they get fast. They got speed at the wideout positions. And then defensively, they fly around. They're urgent. They're improved from last. And just watching the film from last year, they definitely improved. Seems like a lot of those guys are back, and they get some inside backers that are downhill, tough kids. Safeties that are downhill, tough kids as well. And then they got 2 corners that are very good at what they do. We're going to see a lot of man coverage tomorrow. And kids gonna have to fight to get open.
Hey, it's football on a Friday in Massachusetts. You fight every week.
Love it.
First home game, you're expecting a good crowd in a raucous environment?
I hope so. I didn't come over here to Franklin to have, to get anything other than that. We always, one thing, about Holliston is we always get great support.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, I see Franklin as the same type of town. I've never been over here for a Friday night game, just the Laracy Bowl that we've come to.
I hear the announcer's great. That's all I can tell you.
The announcer, second to none is what I've
We'll find out.
heard. He can coach football too.
Well,
too.
he shows up. That's going to do it from us tonight. We got a home game tomorrow at home, 7:00. Brockton, come on down, see the coach in his home debut, and root us on for another W. So for the coach, Todd Kiley, my name is Kevin Papa. We'll see you next week on the Coach's Corner.